School violence is of grave concern to the Jamaica government, said the Prime Minister. 158 road fatalities since January 1st. Reggae artist says musician is responsible for violence in school, while a policeman is charged for robbery and kidnapping. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Omar Collymore, the man who was on trial for the 2018 contract killing of his wife Simone Campbell Collymore and her driver, was found guilty yesterday before the Home Circuit Court. The seven-member jury deliberated for a little over 2 hours in returning the guilty verdict. Responding to the registrar, the foreman delivered the unanimous verdict. Up first was Collymore, who prosecutors says orchestrated his wife's murder. He was found guilty of 2 counts of murder and conspiracy to murder. Next was the accused contract killer, Michael Adams. He too was found guilty on all 3 charges. Shaquille Edwards was found guilty of conspiracy to murder, but not guilty of murder. Dwayne Pink was found guilty of 2 counts of murder and conspiracy to murder. And during the 4-month trial, the prosecution presented evidence to show that Collymore hired Adams to facilitate the murder of his wife and that Edwards and Pink allegedly played a role in surveilling the businesswoman's movements before her death. Among the evidence presented was that Collymore was the sole beneficiary of his wife's $21 million life insurance policy and was allotted 70% of her second life insurance policy, which is worth close to $80 million. Prosecutors said he killed his wife to collect the insurance money. Phone data evidence submitted by the Crown also showed that there was continuous communications between Collymore and the contract killers in the days leading up to his wife's murder. And you can just see what a wicked brother. The second wicked thing is he gets to keep his life and eat and drink while his wife is buried deep underground. A safety and security audit has been ordered by Prime Minister Andrew Holness to reassess the dangers and risks present in schools across the island. The move comes in the wake of a series of serious and fatal incidents involving students. The review will be conducted by the Ministry of National Security and Ministry of Education. Prime Minister Holness said the review is necessary as it will give a better understanding of which schools are at risk and how to direct resources to those schools. The Prime Minister said school violence is of grave concern to the government, adding that the matter has worsened since the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, 10 children have died in road crashes since the start of the year, with the latest being 2 students of Titchfield High School in Portland on Tuesday. The students have been identified as Jaquan Winter of Anata Bay St. Mary and Anna Lindsay, both 14. And the 3 fatal crashes on Tuesday have now brought the road fatalities to 158, only one less than the 159 which occurred during the same period last year. Education Minister Favour Williams is defending her position that lewd music could be contributing to an increase in school violence. The minister made the correlation during last Wednesday's sectoral debate in the House of Representatives, but Shadow Minister Damian Crawford has thrown cold water on that review. Responding in a thread on social media platform X, Crawford questioned whether there was enough evidence to support a strong correlation between music and violent actions. He argued that academic research has identified some underlying push factors which excludes music. He further argued that the separation of music from movies, video games, comics, and cartoons with violent themes is clear evidence of bias. But Minister Williams insists there is sufficient evidence to support her claim, and she's 100% right. Crawford is way out in left field. And in agreement is George Nooks with the minister. Entertainer George Nooks has said that there is a connection between today's popular music and the surge in violence currently playing out in school across the island. Speaking at a Mother's Day show held on Sunday, Nooks shared that musicians and the types of song lyrics they produce are a contributing factor to the country's growing violence problem. Nooks also noted that while entertainers were not solely to be blamed for the problem, he stressed that they were culpable. Nooks reasoned that part of the problem was that entertainers profited from songs with contents that may have a destructive effect. Stopping short of labeling the content of popular songs as murder music, he used the occasion to encourage the nation's entertainers to produce some more positive songs. Increasingly, there have been calls from certain segments of the society to ban entertainers whose lyrics glorify murder and violence, similar to the campaign which led to the signing of the Reggae Compassionate Act. Meanwhile, two men, including a policeman, are now facing several charges, including kidnapping, robbery with aggravation, and breaches of the Corruption Act after allegedly robbing a man of more than $2 million before forcibly taking him with them. According to police reports, 35-year-old Raniel McGregor, a policeman assigned to the St. Thomas Division, and 42-year-old Lanny Piercy, businessman of Dalvey in St. Thomas, identified themselves as police and entered the victim's premises in Golden Grove Meadows in the parish, and it's alleged that the accused men robbed the complainant of $2,150,000 before forcibly kidnapping him. He was later released and a report made to the police. An investigation commenced and McGregor and Piercy were subsequently arrested and charged, and a court date for them is now being finalized. And the man who should be protecting you from being robbed is the one doing the robbery. The watchman caretaker of Pembroke Hall Primary School was found murdered yesterday morning. According to police, his body was found riddled with bullet wounds on the school compound. Parents were called yesterday to collect their children, and classes were suspended for the rest of the day. A woman was gunned down in close proximity to her child along Woodland Road in Hanover late on Tuesday. Reports are that residents heard an explosion, following which the body of the woman was observed on the ground next to her crying child. The woman has since been identified as 30-year-old Brittany Gibbs of Woodland District. She was transported to hospital where she was pronounced dead, and no motive has yet been determined for that deadly attack. On to sports. Tuesday night, the New York Knicks were phenomenal, and they did the same thing to the Pacers that the Pacers did to them on Sunday. Tuesday night, the Knicks could do nothing wrong and totally demolished the Pacers 121-91. Knicks star player Bronson was unstoppable, and he managed to score 44 points, and now the Knicks lead the series 3-2 and just need one more win to send the Pacers home and head over to the Eastern Championship Finals. Next game is on Friday, and my bet is on the Knicks to send the Pacers back to their home and watch the rest of the game on TV. And don't forget that the best news and sports takes place on this station. If you missed the news, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's news and sports on your favorite radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.